what it is, man. Detroit versus everybody, man. Detroit, we rep the hardest, man. We gain the hardest. You know what it is, man. Detroit, CJ, holla at your boy when we get home.
All right, Mario Barrios says he ready to bang it out with Boots. No Diddy. He said he ready to fight Boots. He did an interview on boxingscene.com. He's fighting, was it Abel Ramos? The Ramos that ain't that good. Not the one that Lubin fought. The Ramos that ain't that good at 47. He fighting Friday night on Netflix on the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson undercard. Said they gonna try to steal the show. Damn, did I go the wrong way? I keep going the wrong way all fucking day. Shit. Yeah, I don't even care at this point. Keep going the wrong way with this motherfucker. They like, man, this Alien Ninja. They got the road blocked off. I'm still rolling on it. I'm tired of going the long way. Oh, man. But nonetheless, I know I'm not supposed to be doing this, but I don't. But yeah, but like I said before, you know, everybody seen Boots have a tough time with Chukhadzhian. Now everybody wanna fight him and whatever. Now everybody wanna get it in with Dog. And shit, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like Coach Malachi said, that might be the best thing that happened for Boots was that, you know, he had a subpar performance, even though most people feel like he dominated, versus Chukhadzhian, right? And now Barrios saying that, you know, me and Boots can fight 50 times and the outcome can all be different. He can bang, he can box. He said maybe he think, you know, Boots tried to rush it up too much versus Chukhadzhian, and that's pretty much what the daddy was telling him to do, was rush it. Let's keep it funky. So, that's what he was telling him. You know, go get the knockout, get him out of there. So, but now, you know, Barrios want to do it. I mean, they was on the same side of the promotional company and they didn't make it happen. So I don't know if they didn't have money, which that ain't a big lucrative fight. You know, now that it's a path between them, or, you know, companies between them, you know, it don't really seem like it's, you know, it can happen. You know, now they got to negotiate with Matchroom. We know Matchroom and PBC don't necessarily get along, and blase this, blase that. But now he said, I'm going to really push for unification. I mean, him and Stayonis could have fought Dix before they ordered Stayonis to fight a mandatory. Why didn't he make that unification bout? That'd be my thing. They don't be making the best fights on their side of the street, but then we turn around and expect them to make the best fights on you know, with other boxing companies, and it just don't work that way. You know? It just don't work that way. You don't make the best fights in your own company. Boots and Barrios could have been a fight they did this year and probably would have been the best fight they produced this year. You know, in a handful of shows that they didn't have. So, yeah, of course now, you know, and like YSM came in on Wednesday and did a live, and he basically said, you know, why ain't nobody putting pressure on Barrios to stay on this and Norman Jr., or besides Norman Jr. to fight Boots? Why ain't put no pressure on them to fight Boots? And we already know what that is. The black fighter is graded on an entirely different scale than everybody else. And rightfully so, because we've been dominating the sport damn near since it began. So we already know that. So, but now Barrios want to push for unification. I mean, y'all niggas fight once a year. Why not at least push for the Stayonis fight this year? Why didn't that fight happen? Barrios versus Stayonis. Then Boots and Norman could have fought DNA. We could have had undisputed. Man, you know, you got, you know, no-name brand fighters or low-name brand fighters, you know, sitting here, you know, trying to marinate these fights, and I don't really understand it. I literally don't understand it, bro. I don't get it. Like, y'all not Pacquiao, Mayweather, Canelo, you Joshua. Y'all should be trying to do whatever y'all can do to get the money and consolidate the division. Once a year, y'all whole careers are tune up. So that really shouldn't even be a factor. You know what I mean? That shouldn't even be a factor. So that's what I'm, truly not really understanding. That's what I'm not understanding. That's what I'm not understanding. Y'all babysitting, bullshitting, taking bullshit fights. Y'all might as well, go ahead and start unifying. Now, Rachel Donaire did expose Boots, though, on Greg Hackett Live. She basically said that, let me say this. She basically said that the IBF told Eddie Hearn he had to put a $20,000, mandatory exception in, non-refundable, in order for them to even, for them to basically open up a negotiation window, for them to fight, or negotiate with Brian Norman Jr. He never paid that $20,000, she said, so really the negotiations with Brian Norman didn't count. Because then Karen Chukhadzhian said Eddie Hearn had no communication, basically said open up the 30-day window for the purse bid, and that was a wrap. When he didn't pay that $20K, no matter what they did with Brian Norman and Chukhadzhian elected to go for the purse bid because they wasn't negotiating. No matter what he did with Brian Norman Jr., the fight wasn't going to happen because Eddie Hearn didn't pay the $20 million, the $20,000, which they, specifically, it's in their rule book, Rachel Donaire said, which they specifically said was non-refundable. That's some bullshit, though, but I told y'all this shit a money grab. These promotional companies better off just doing their own belt. They don't want to do cross-promotion fights. Why not just have his own belt, or the Metron belt, or the ESPN top rank belt? Fuck it. To me, that make more sense than anything. Real spill. That make more sense than anything. So, but like Barrios, like these niggas starting to grow a pair of balls again. He turned around and fight Roddy Piper or some shit. He turned around and fight Michael Fox or something. These dudes just don't want to make fights. And when you with the PBC protection plan, Boots fans starting to see they ain't got to never do nothing on PBC. PBC can't do nothing wrong. They can never do nothing wrong. They can never do nothing wrong. Now they starting to see that. So all of a sudden, Barrios said, he want to unify next. He don't mind fighting Boots. I mean, stylistically, for the fans, it's a great fight. But see how, Boots showing a little chink in his armor. Now, people want to get in the ring with him. But, Barrios is a good fighter. I mean, he been tested. That Gamadal fight, testing him, start off at 122, 126. In there with Tank when he was drained, in there with Keith Garman, even though he made Keith work 10s. So, like I said before, the rumors, they only got one more fight on PBC. That's been a rumor. I don't know how true it is. He got to fight his mandatory. But, like I said before, why didn't, stay on this? They offered him 1.5 to fight Ennis. But on top of that, apparently Eddie Hearn never paid that $20K to the IBF to allow that to happen, and Karen Chukhadzhian wanted this fight. And that fight ain't do nothing but hurt Boots' stock. That's all it did. That's all it did. Like I said, we see what happens. More likely, you're probably gonna see Barrios get past Ramos. Leonis get past his opponent. What you're gonna end up seeing is, if they on this last fight, they're gonna wave the Barrios fight in front of him, the unification bout. He probably gonna fight Barrios, and that's what's gonna happen. That'll be his fight for the year. So Boots trying to unify. It ain't that he don't have the ability or the talent, the physical ability or talent to unify. What it boils down to is the politics. You know, and you count on the company who don't make the best fights on their side of the streets. They don't make the fights on their side of the street. So how do you expect them y'all to come together and do a fight and they not accustomed to doing fights on their side of the street, big fights? So really, when you look at it, you know, it ain't possible. Even if you give up a whole bunch of concessions and shit, it simply ain't possible. Damn, this motherfucker's everywhere around this bitch. It ain't possible. So, but, you know, it's what it is. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe button is the bell icon button. Get all notifications, increase your chance of notifications. We got live and drop video. Financially, you want to support the channel, cash up, $.